Here comes the meat wagon. Woo, woo, woo.
So I got a nice prime rib here today. What I'm going to do is cut this into ribeye steaks. I like a good 2-inch steak, so that's what we're going to cut this into. Really easy process. If you are buying it as a prime rib, you're saving about $1 or $2 a pound per steak, rather than just getting, a ribeye steak already cut by the butcher.
Hey, I tell you what, you can take a good look at a butcher's ass by sticking your head up there, but wouldn't you rather take his word for it? What?
Sometimes you can find a really good deal. Actually, I paid $30 for this one because it was on sale. So you got all that fat on the back there. Normally, sometimes you'll have to trim off a piece of fat that's right here, but this one actually looks pretty good. I might just trim a small slice. Let me just cut a little slice off the end of this fat here. It's not much of it. It's actually looks pretty good. So you can still see some of the fat in there. Let's cut a little more off that end. Yeah. All right. Then I'll flip it over, and you want to keep some of this fat on the back to kind of hold your ribeye together, but I'm going to trim some of that off of there. Keep my hands washed and the handle of the knife as clean as possible so I don't slip. Don't want to slip with the knife. Let's just trim some of this fat off of here. Just some small pieces here and there. Like I said, you want to leave some of it on, trim some of it off. When we cut into it, we can see what that marbling is going to look like on this one. Hopefully it's a decent piece, decent cut. Some of this thick fat, let's get that out of there. That big hunk. Yeah, actually still got a good chunk right here to cut. I'm gonna just cut that whole thing off there, but yeah, look at that. A lot more fat to cut off on that edge there. Now I am just going to slice. I like a good thick steak, so about 2-inch slices of ribeye. So let's cut into it. Let's get a good, nice cut of steak here. Just slide that knife right through. Have a nice sharp knife. Slide right through. Oh yeah. It's gonna be a nice cut right there. Looks good to me. Looks good to an amateur. Nice 2-inch thick, roughly. Might be about 1.5 inches. Actually, it's a little thin. Should probably use a ruler. Start using a ruler on this to see exactly how thick I'm getting it. Yeah. Had it in the freezer. I tried to thaw it out. Seems like that center is still a little frozen. Might have to do a little hacking. Oh yeah, it's gonna taste delicious. Get this piece nice and thick here. Yeah. By cutting that fat chunk off the end, I don't have that big hunk of fat left on that outside edge. But that's some pretty decent marbling, I think. prefer to do this straight from the store. Cut it when it's thawed out a little bit more, but I had this in the freezer. I put it in a tub of water in the sink today for what, since this morning. It's been 5-6 hours, but that center is still pretty frozen, so I'm gonna definitely let these sit out to get to room temperature before I throw it on the grill. You want to have your steak all the way to room temperature before you cook it. I don't know if I can see it on the camera there. I get a pile of steaks coming here. Boy, I might not be able to see what I'm cutting because the steak pile is a little high. This one would be a couple little thinner pieces. I'm gonna just vacuum seal the extras. But for the discount I got on these, and how many you can get out of it, these are gonna be 2 little thinner ones. A little chunk of fat right there, we'll chop that off. And some people will take a whole prime rib, you can cut it about 6 inches, use the 1/2 as a rib roast, then the other half you can get 3 2-inch steaks out of it. So that's the first part of the process. I'm just gonna vacuum seal some of these up. I'm gonna keep 2 of them out for me and my wife for eating, for putting on the grill tonight. Let them sit out here and get to room temperature. Thing of beauty. I just had to get one more shot of this. They just look so good. Alright, now it's time to get to cooking. I like to use these tumbleweed fire starters. I've used the wax ones and the fibrous ones. These light up so fast. I think there's wax on them, but these seem to do the best for getting the fire started. Nice burn on that thing. Throw it right in the middle there. And then I like to use a couple of chunks of wood. I use apple. I like apple or cherry. I like something a little lighter. I don't like a heavy smoke, mesquite or hickory on mine. Just like a light smoke. That's it. Starting a fire is pretty easy, especially with one of these. This is an Acorn cooker by Char Griller. I've had this thing for a few years now and took care of it, and it works really well. I usually use the diffuser to put in the middle, but I'm going to try to not use the diffuser today. That's the diffuser. You can see how much I use it. I'm going to try not to use it today. I'm going to just go straight fire. Yeah, fire. Just going to stack some up here. Make sure it starts to get an even burn on it. Because all my thermometers and probes broke, I gotta use this little goofy dude. But it does the trick. Alright, for my meat, I just like black pepper and kosher salt. That's it. If you put butter on it, I don't want to be your friend. Just sprinkle that on. Salt-based style. Rub it in nicely. Let it melt into that meat. Get the other side. Put some in my hand. Just sprinkle it on there. Rub it in. And then get some pepper. Same thing. Sprinkle it on even. Rub it in. No butter. God damn it, no butter. No butter, right?
No butter.
No butter.
Good meat does not need butter.
You heard it here first. And we let this sit to room temperature. You don't want to cook a cold steak. You don't want to cook a warm steak. Just a nice room temperature steak. I'm gonna put a little more salt. Not much more. Got that nice smoke coming off the grill now. Them wood chunks give it a good nice smoke. It's up to 150 degrees. Need to get a lot higher than that. Alright, I'm gonna do it at about 500 degrees today. I don't know if this thing is focusing or not. We're gonna put them on. We like our steaks rare, so no more than 5 minutes, maybe even 3 minutes on a thick cut like this. Ooh, that's a fire in there, boy. See that sizzle. Close it up. Not 3 hours. Let's do 2 minutes, and then I'm gonna turn it, get some grill marks. Okay, it's been 1 minute. Just gonna open it up. Just gonna turn them. Just like that. Close it back up. All right, another minute went by, so we're gonna flip them. Look at that. Woo! Looking good. Keep it close, keep that heat in there. Yeah, grab some full. All right. Here we go. Just give them a turn. I'm straight on that fire. I'm only gonna leave it in for 1 more minute. All right, that's another minute. That should be plenty. I'm gonna throw them down on here. Sear that a little bit. Give me a little sear. All right. There she is. Once it comes off the grill and it sits in the pan, it still cooks a little bit, so you want to get close to your internal temperature, but not all the way to it. You want to let it cook up a little more once it comes out. So we'll let it sit, and then we'll cut into it. Oh yeah, perfect. Just how I like it. Let's see. Oh yeah, nice and juicy. A little salad, you got it made. America.